depths of silence where echoes remain. You were the sunrise and I was the rain. A collision of souls opposing in flight. I was the darkness, you yearned for the light. Now you're gone, and I'm losing my mind, losing my mind, I'm losing my mind. Now you're gone. Why did you cut me up, bring me out, and leave me high and dry? You were the laughter that kept me alive. You were hello, and I was goodbye. An ember that flickered, that faded away. You were the summer, I was that same old shit in me.
Here we go, just pulled up, we thought we'd have half a cup. It's that time of the day, slow getting away this morning, but anyway we're here. The plan is to do a bit of a loop up through the high country, bit of country that we actually don't spend a lot of time in, so over in the northeast. The plan is to go up to the Tambaretha, Howitt Roads, down through King-Billy, get over into the Howcler Valley and poke around a bit up on Mount Sterling, Clear Hills, a few huts up in there. Pretty excited to have a look at. We've got a week to do it, we'll see where we get to. Come along with us. We leave Lacola and we've got about 22 kilometres of bitumen following the Wellington River. This is a great part of the high country here, is along the Wellington River. Great campsites. It tends to get a bit warm down here, the heat hangs in the valley. So good swimming holes. And it's free. Pretty good. Our plan is we're going to follow the Tambaretha road up. It will turn into gravel about the 22 kilometre mark. Then we got the long arduous climb up Tambaretha Road up to Tambaretha Saddle, and it's a bit of a haul, can get a bit chopped out, corrugated. So this is great access into the southern fall, southern approach if you like, to the Alpine National Park. After about an hour in the saddle, it was time to stretch the legs. McMichael's hut provided the perfect setting, and as it turned out would be the first of many huts we would explore on this high country adventure. McMichael's hut. It's a great hut. It's not as old as some of the others. It's quite a good refuge though. Reasonably sealed up. Tin construction. Tends to be a little bit less drafty. Wooden floor, so you're off the deck, not on the ground, in the mud, like some of the others. Only a short distance further along Kelly's Lane is Kelly's hut, a more traditional style of cattleman's hut. This hut had recently undergone some significant restoration, facilitated by the High Country Huts Association and Parks Victoria. This is Kelly's hut. Had a fair bit of work done on it recently. Let's go in and have a look. The hut restoration involved replacing a number of the upright posts, mortising the original where possible into new subsurface foundations, and fully reconstructing the stone masonry of the fireplace and surrounding structure. The adjoining saddle room received some attention along with the internal wall and earthen floor. The abode would be a sight for sore eyes when a mountain storm rolls in and refuge is required. What an awesome view. Sort of got to be a bit careful, you get a bit of the wobbles up. How cool is this spot? This is Dimi's Lookout. There's Conglomerate Creek down in here, making its way down through the mountains into Wonnegata. What a great spot. It's about a 2 kilometre drive off the Howitt Road. It's an in and an out. It's alright, it's well worth the effort to duck in here. It sort of doesn't matter what the weather's like. I mean, today's a cracker. But even coming in here when the weather's a bit inclement, pretty specky. Just got to make sure you don't fall off the edge because it can fog out. We're looking down into the headwaters of the Conglomerate Creek. Winds its way through here down into the Wonnegata River, and it's actually a big horseshoe bend here in the river. So it's coming out of Bryce's Gorge. There's a big bend and heads back north right up that valley. You got Wonnegata Valley, Homestead Valley over the back there. There's Mount Darling just out the back here, so this is all the Mount Darling wilderness. Very remote country. There's an old track, used to be able to drive way out there years ago, long time ago. Popular deer hunting patch now, I think. This escarpment country is just fantastic. Dimi's Lookout was named after Sam Dimi, who was the foundation chairman of Victoria's Land Conservation Council when it was established in 1977 by the Victorian government. The purpose of this council was to devise a system for the planning and use of all public land in Victoria. Dimi's Land Conservation Council was responsible for or helped establish the extensive system of conservation reserves and national parks in Victoria that we enjoy today. Check this out. An orchid there. Not sure exactly what they are. Even Mum's not real sure what sort they are. It's a trigger plant. There's lots of them out. You'll probably end up with a whole carpet of them. I mean, there's lots out already, but you'll often find that, yeah, you end up with masses of pink. There's a little mechanism that they got, a little proboscis that when an insect lands there, it flicks up and probably plants a little bit of pollen on the insect's butt, and then it flies off to the next plant and rubs its bum on the next one and ends up fertilising it, and get more and more and more of them. It's just a short drive off the Howitt Road. Short detour into Dimi's Lookout. I don't think the track gets too much maintenance. A few big water holes and washouts here and there. It's only a couple of K. It's worth the effort, ducking in there. You get in there in a standard four-wheel drive, easy enough. Fantastic views though. A couple of little sort of spots to camp there if you want to. Certainly a good spot for a picnic. Drag the thermos out, pull the billy, whatever tickles your fancy. Our plans are now, we've just had a bite to eat. We're going to get back out onto the Howitt Road and head north. And, it's getting on a bit actually, so we'll probably hightail it down King Billy. Find ourselves a campsite at elevation, I think, this sort of weather. Maybe up on the King Billies there somewhere. Howitt Hut and the nearby mount and plain bearing the same name were named after Alfred Howard, who was one of the earliest Europeans to explore and document the area. An explorer, naturalist, and a pioneering authority on Aboriginal culture, he was also the person that found John King, the sole survivor of the infamous Burke and Wills expedition. William Bryce built this hut in the 1890s, making it one of the oldest huts in the Victorian High Country. It was close by this hut that in November 1918, the body of Jack Bamford, the cook, handyman and suspected killer of Jim Barclay, the then manager of Wannangata Station, was found under a pile of logs, having been shot in the head. This double murder remains unsolved to this day. What do we go down here for? Just got to the end of Howard Road as such. Now we drop down into McAllister River. So the road at that point turns into a track officially. It's the end of the main road. So we just descend right down into the McAllister River and then up the other side on the King Billy track. So it's a bit slow, it's a bit rough. The Howard High Plains sit at an elevation between 15 and 1600 metres above sea level and is capped with basalt. The edges of the plain are abrupt slopes, and it's here on the steep western slope where we find these large periglacial block streams composed of angular basalt boulders, some up to 3 metres in diameter. Periglacial describes a landscape that undergoes seasonal freezing and thawing, typically on the fringes of past glaciated regions. How cool is this?
Need your high vis on.
Yeah, can't be seen. If I go in there and can't find my way out, I'll never be found. It's slippery. Find the key, pull the wrong rock and it'll all just come tumbling down. It is all moving very slowly, geological time. It's a river of rock. It's often referred to as scree, but I don't think that's quite the right term for this particular formation. There's a few examples of this, but this is an excellent example of it. But in this area out towards Mount Clear and the Knobs and that, there's a few other sites. Similar geology.
Well, how far does it go down? We just didn't go.
We just pulled up here for half a cup across the creek here. I think this is King Billy Creek, I'm not quite sure, should consult the map I suppose. Pretty sure this is Peters Creek track, old logging road. Years and years ago, back in the 80s, this was a main thoroughfare, major road, log trucks in and out of here. We're going to head this way, up King Billy. Not quite sure where we're going to go tonight, where we're heading for. There's at least some clear country there at King Billy that we could pull up and throw the donger up, or we could keep heading around towards Picture Point on the Bluff Link track, I think it's called, and then find a spot up in there at elevation. Time will tell. And I think there's a bit of a nasty bog hole up here we've got to negotiate too. Oh, we just thought we'd give ourselves a bit of exercise there. There's a bit of a bypass track there, but getting onto it was quite off camber. So I opted to go up the main track, stick to the main track. Yes, there was a bigger bog hole and all that, and it was only because there was a steep wall and I, in hindsight, probably didn't have my tyre pressures low enough. My front wheels were scrabbling around trying to get grip, and I think I'll put that down to too high tyre pressures there. But we had an awesome direct line pull for winching up there, so it did it really easy, and it was a great exercise for us to do it when it was safe, the weather's good, there's no pressure on us, so that's the time to be doing that sort of stuff. Quite a decent hole down there, all full of crap that people have dragged in there, rocks and logs and stuff. Bit of a double step up, and front and rear are trying to climb something at the same time. It was really worthwhile getting some experience in a controlled environment when the pressure's not on, other than we want to get to camp and get a fire going. It was good, did it easy. Tested our systems and no issues at all. We don't tend to go looking for these sorts of obstacles, that's for sure, and we tend to try and find the path of least resistance. And the lads just reminded me that the last time we had the winch out was at Gunshot on Cape York. It's been a while between drinks. It's always good to hone the skills and have a bit of practice. Anyway, let's go and find somewhere to camp. Well, we had a fair cracker of a day. We're on the road for a fair while, but interestingly enough, it's only 140 k's to this point from home. Where are we? We're at King Billy Saddle. There's a bit of a junction at this point, King Billy. We had that little bit of a challenge and kick up just back here, half a k, if that. And I'm not sure if that's, in the true definition of things, a recovery, because I could have backed out. So we used it to advance ourselves up the track. So recovery in my mind means that we're stuck and we can't progress one way or another. Maybe that's just semantics. Anyway, we've set up a little camp here, an awesome spot. We've got it to ourselves at the moment, right up here on the saddle itself. Sun's going down over here to the west, you would have thought. So that means it's going to come up over here behind Howard Plains, which is our view this evening, Howard Plains. And we've got King Billy number 2 just out the back here. It's probably 300 or 400 metres, and then 100 metres climb. We might duck up there. If we don't do it this evening to watch the sunset, we might be adventurous and duck up there in the morning. Believe that when we see it. You know, great spot, nice and grassy. Mum's already having a nap. Camp set up. It's time to kick back and relax. Oh. Something a bit different tonight. We're cooking on our Osprey, but we're sort of not using it as a grill. We're just using it as a stand over the fire, a wire stand. Quite a versatile bit of gear. So set the legs up and the basket on the top as a shelf, and you can adjust the height of that just to lower your food, your pan up and down. Just gives it a nice level, stable surface to work with. But yeah, I'm gonna have to lower it a bit, I think. Flavour in a packet, good flavour, simple. We forgot the tomato paste, so we've got to improvise. I don't think it'll be a compromise. So we've cooked the rice just on the side there, keep them warm, absorption method, and then a bit of fresh cream. Let that reduce a little bit, I think, warm up. So this is butter chicken on rice. Smells great. That's real good. Jeez, we've set the bar high for night 1. made it. It's about to catch the sun coming up on the top of King Billy. It's a bit breezy though. Wow. It's just after 6 AM. This is awesome. Bit of cloud hanging in the valley. Clear, can see every peak. This is magic. We just picked the day, although it is a bit crisp. Should have my jacket on. Oh, this is just fantastic. Everything we'd hoped for and more, I think. Well worth the effort of getting up at 5:30 and racing up here. See this, the fog's just coming through, or the clouds lifting up and coming through the gap here between Mount Magdala and King Billy. Wow. It's actually coming off the top of Mount Sterling. The cloud was just sitting on top of the mountain and it's all starting to lift and blow across from the north. This is Mount Magdala just here in front and Mount Howard out the back. Mount Speculation right in the background here. Thought we'd finish off this video the way we started it. So I've still got plenty of this trip to go, but thought I'd break the video down into a few sections rather than one long video, a fefew shorter videos, because as it turned out, it was a cracker of a trip. Lots of great new country. We had an absolute ball. Because I realised while I was putting this together that this is actually our 50th video we've put up on YouTube. We're pretty proud of that, and I thought it was a great opportunity to celebrate, and what better way to do it than have half a cup down on our favourite lake just across the road from home, really. It is a bit busy today, not surprisingly. Well, there's a bit of an easterly, the waves are just starting to pick up, but it's a cracker of a day, so there's a few boats out. just thought it was an opportunity to shout out and say thanks very much. 50 videos. It's probably been a long time in the making. We'll see how long it takes for the next 50 to come out. The regularity of our videos is not regular, but we've certainly got some good things planned, some great adventures. The journey continues, and let's see where it takes us. Now, whether that journey's close to home like this, down at our favourite spot overlooking our favourite waterhole, just taking in the sun, beautiful, going to come around there, or whether it's the other end of the country in some remote exotic location. We've got a few exciting things coming up. We've got a new build that'll be revealed in due course. That's been quite exciting, and that's been a journey in its own right, particularly with the lad and myself. Stay tuned for that one. It'll be the sister ship, you might say, to the IVECO. We probably won't travel quite as far in the new truck, but we're really excited by that. That's just a whole new world of learning for us, and you know, that's what it's all about, extending ourselves and new challenges, new experiences, and we'll take you on the journey with us. We're not trying to bust a boiler when we're out and about on our travels. We're just trying to experience new things, learn, share that experience with each other, and ultimately with you guys. So I thought I'd take the opportunity just to shout out to everybody for following along and letting us know what you think, good or bad. It's all appreciated for what it is, and yeah, I thought this is also a great opportunity just to share our rationale behind doing all this YouTube stuff. At the end of the day, we're out there having these adventures, we're on this journey, and capturing it through film and photo is our way of sort of being creative, I guess you could say, and also being able to share our experiences with others. And you know, I think we are very fortunate what we're able to do as a family. Head out, we certainly have travelled quite extensively and been able to share it with those that are interested, family, friends, and these days some followers. We could get an easel and some crayons and be creative that way, or we can do it via film. We've learnt a lot, particularly with regards to the truck, and learn a lot in regards to the country that we've travelled through, and we try and understand and interpret where we are and what we're looking at, what we're experiencing, and hopefully that comes through with the film. I know that there's a whole cohort out there that's quite interested in the truck, and look, I try and showcase my learnings and experiences with the truck, and if that helps others out with their journey as they take on the challenge of owning and maintaining a IVECO daily 4-wheel drive, then you know, I'll share it with you. I appreciate the experience of others that have shared it with me when I reach out, and thanks very much. You know who you are out there. So there's probably at least one more video, maybe 2 more videos in this little series on this trip, and this was awesome. This is our backyard, and it just highlighted to us how fortunate we are in this part of the world. Victorian high country is just a remarkable part of the country. Like I said, we've travelled extensively around Australia, north, south, east and west, and yet we keep coming back to this place. This has just got everything and more. You know, we've spent our whole life in this part of the world, and we're still finding stuff. I spend a lot of time in the high country. I've grown up in the high country. I work in the high country. We recreate in the high country. We live right at the breaker slope of the high country, so it's really our back door. We're looking into the high country daily from our veranda while we're enjoying half a cup. The high country has just got everything and more to offer. We've got to look after it though, because it is starting to get a bit of a flogging. If there is some subliminal messaging in my videos, it's about respect, looking after the place that we're so dearly attracted to. And there's a whole fraternity out there that switches in probably primarily because of the uniqueness of the IVECO. Look, there's not a lot of them in the country, and they are a bit unique. They've got a pretty bold stance. They stand out on the highway, they stand out in the bush. You know, we notice it as we drive along. We're sitting up there like Jackie, and you see the people come in the opposite direction, sort of looking up at us. You hear comments on the radio and that sort of stuff. So, you know, I know we're fortunate to, you know, we put a lot of hard work and tears and a lot of water under the bridge before we got to this point with this truck. I think it's a great community, and I guess that's part of this whole social networking thing, isn't it? It's broadened those opportunities to share and learn and, you know, cross paths with others as well. You know, we've travelled and people come up to us and said, oh, you know, I've seen your video and want to have a chat, and you know, asking questions about where we've been, what we're doing, or about the truck and what we know about it and what we've learnt about it. So I'll continue to share those experiences, and I appreciate it's probably not for everybody. You know, if that's your niche, that's what you're looking for, then it'll be there. There tends to be something about the truck in most of our videos. I do have a sort of a subset playlist, if you like, of, you know, doing some solo stuff, just shouldering the pack and heading out, and a lot of that's of course been with the lad, which is absolutely awesome. And Mum certainly enjoys getting out there with a pack on and poking into some of these more isolated and remote places as well. Anyway, thanks for watching, appreciate it. Here's to the next 50 videos. We'll see what comes of that. But once again, thanks everyone, appreciate you following along, and we'll catch you out there somewhere. Look after yourself, see you next time.